When's the first time you went to prison and what for?
First time I went to prison was for shoplifting. It was a terrifying experience because you don't know what to expect. You're in a holding cell at the bottom, and the first step is your fingerprints that's been taken, and the way the cops treat you, it's not cool.
How do they treat you?
They shout at you, and that time you're feeling so, how can I say, well, you're scared. So any shouting, anything makes you cry. So the fingerprints that was taken, there's like, yeah, what's happening now, it's the first time that you're doing this.
Were you
So
alone?
Okay. You don't know what to expect. So then you go to your cell, and then to the holding cell there at the police station. But the moment when the day that you have to stay there 2 days, like, before you appear. When you appear in the morning when you go to court, everyone is in the same cell, so from different police stations.
Okay.
So it depends. If you're appearing at Waima Court, then everybody from Grassy Park, different Philippi, everywhere, they will also appear there. So it's a lot of different characters. For murders, for different. They're all the females are in one cell, all the males in different cells.
Right.
So it's a scary event, or experience, up until when you appear, because you don't know if you're going home.
Right.
You don't know. So yeah.
What led you to that first shoplift? Was it the first time you shoplifted, or you had shoplifted before, prior to getting caught?
Yeah, but it wasn't for the support of my drugs at that time.
Okay.
That is what led me to.
Right.
I needed to survive, and I wasn't getting income anywhere else. And shoplifting at that time, I was good at it.
Right.
To put it that way, I was extremely good at it. But yeah, obviously not so good because I was caught.
And so you got what? You got? I mean, what was your?
So I got a bail because I was let out on a warning because it was my first time.
Right.
A week later, I was arrested again
for shoplifting.
And because I was let out the week before, I got a bail of 1,000 rand. And then I laid a week, and then the merchant, the guy that I buy my dealer, he came to bail me.
Okay.
Because I was supplying him with stuff. So obviously, your life gets a bit easier. So yeah. Also, for 2 days I lay there, and he came to fetch me. It was 2 or 3 days anyway. Yeah, he came to fetch me. So it made me even more. That motivated me even more to work more, because I said, yeah, I've got somebody that's coming to bail me. I mean, what more do I need?
Right.
Just do just get the stuff that he needs, and then that's it.
Like when you say stuff that he needs,
like whatever he wants out of the shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he would tell you, listen, I need a pair of shoes, I need that, and then you just go out and get it, and then next change you get the drugs.
Drugs or money, or drugs and money or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And where are you staying during this time?
I was staying by other friend of mine.
Okay.
In Plumstead as well. But I was paying them money.
Right.
I was paying them rent as well.
Okay.
But then afterwards, as time went on, it's also a dealer, but I used to work for them.
Okay.
Work with him or work for them. And that's where the prostitution came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did they push you towards prostitution?
Not once did they push me.
Okay.
That was my own decision.
Right.
They had girls that was working with them, and whenever I used to go sit and smoke and sell my stuff, then I thought, yeah. So the one day I was sitting there and shops is closed. I don't have money. And yeah, I took a walk, but not once did they ever. That is, everyone has something bad to say about them, but I can say one thing. They never ever forced me.
Right.
Never ever did they force me to do anything I didn't want to do. They only treated me but good.
Okay.
Not for me alone, but for my mother as well. Like, my mother was very sick, so my mother needed medication. So yeah, people's got a lot of bad things to say to him, about him, but I can say, first-hand experience, he's a good person. Yeah, we all have our own choices. He doesn't force anyone to go prostitute for him. all of us, we go to him because a lot of us see him like a daddy because he don't chase us away. You know, people with a lot of broken homes don't have family to go to. You will see he's like a magnet. We will always go there to him if you feel that way. Even today, I still go and I say thank you to him for keeping me safe because there's a lot of prostitutes that don't make it. They get abused, they get hit, so what happens there is at night when you staying there by the place, you send out boys to just watch out over us. So while we're standing on the corners or whatever we're doing, there is someone watching us. Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot to be grateful for.
Right. And I mean, that sounds like, as you say, a home, because a lot of the women are coming from
a lot of different experiences, can you only imagine different characters of women? And you know, a lot of people in one house is not good. It's not good. But yeah, that is what that impact over all of us when he's around. Everything went so smooth.
How did you manage to keep all you guys
because
on the...
That's the thing, he was like a father.
Right.
He saw to all of our needs. He saw, like, what was so amazing, even my daughter, she loves him so much because of when you work for him, like at the end of the year, birthdays, they get their presents. End of the year, they'll get like the New Year's outfit, techies, everything sorted out. Head to toe. Christmas, same thing. School starts, you take your child shopping for the stationery. You never ever, your child always came first. We had to shopping for them first before we could shopping for ourselves.
And he forced you guys to do that?
No, he took us.
Okay, good.
He didn't give us money. No. And he kept it by him until, because there was a lot of girls that he used to sell the techies and stuff that they bought for the children.
Right.
So, yeah, that is why I got more privilege, because he saw, no, I really do what I say I'm going to do. And we'll have outings maybe once a month. He'll take us maybe to the beach with our children and whatever, with the buckies and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was... But a lot of women in that house, no. But when he was around, yeah, he also had things to do, you know, other houses that he had to go to. Not other, where girls stayed, but, you know, they were obviously dealing and whatever the case may be, or whatever. He had to go, he had also he had like 5 or 6 children himself.
Okay.
And he sorted them all out, with the help of us, obviously, but yeah.
I'm interested in I mean, obviously we don't know the personal stories of those women, but you know what, in your experience, and maybe having spoken to those other ladies, is there a common theme that drives or that drove those women to prostitution?
Hurt. Because with prostitution, you need to say it's like a, you know, something triggers something, like drugs. From hurt, you need something to deaden the drug, to deaden the hurt. There's no way, maybe we just weak, but we couldn't, when I say we, I'm saying so because I can relate to all of them. You couldn't deal with the hurt, with whatever hurt it is, you know, hurt, sometimes I just couldn't deal with it. There was no way. I didn't want to be alive. I needed something to make me work past it. And drug, unfortunately, or fortunately, because I learned a lot out of it, was the thing that helped me. And yes, with drug, you need money. You don't have money, you need to make a way for money. So you're either stealing or whatever you're doing. So prostitution.
Right.
And that's easy money. It's quick.
Right.
But the damage is big. It's unbelievable what it can do to you. It can break you. It can make you. It fucks you around, basically.
Do you want to talk about that damage?
Yeah, we can speak about it because I don't want anyone else, you know, whoever out there, whatever. That's not the best way. It might sound, but you will never believe what it does to you. As a woman, But yeah, we can speak about it.
I think maybe let's get into it. I mean, you touched on earlier on about your self-esteem and as a woman, how prostitution takes it away from you, you know. I think maybe let's maybe go from there.
Yeah, well, the more drugs you take, the more dead you become. You do things. It just doesn't give you. You just do whatever you must do. You're like a machine. You understand? The less as the drugs pull out of you, your conscience, you start thinking about what you do. So you need to continue taking drugs, not for that, not to give you a chance to think of, hey, what are you busy doing? So yeah, the more drugs you need, the more they're gonna feed you. You understand? They don't ever tell you to stop. That's for sure, because it's money. So yeah, you continuously taking drugs to deaden yourself. So you don't really care what the hell you're doing. Okay, there is limits and whatever. I know that I would take certain things too. But yeah, as the drugs pull out, you start remembering, hey, what is this that you're doing, man? So when you become clean, and every step you take away from drugs, it's an amazing, it's scary, but once you're out of it, you're so proud of yourself. You think to yourself, the things that you had to go through. It's because some men, they used to pick you up and and you know what, believe it or not, it's the rich guys that fucks a woman around on the street, that hurts, that robs. I promise you, that is why very seldom when a fancy car came to stand there, I tell my friends, you can have your fancy car, but you ain't killing me. Because that is what happened. There was a couple of girls that was murdered, killed, and there's a lot of girls of us that saw in what kind of cars they got into.
Right.
Lost. And it was all rich businessmen.
Right.
So they pick you up and they do whatever they want to do, and then they paid you first or whatever, but they hurt you, and then they put a gun against your head and they take their money back. Or they'll go drop you off in Melkbosstrand or wherever it is, and you must find your own way back. And it's hurtful and it's scary because you don't know when it is your last. You don't know what to expect.
So so when you're standing there on that street, you
don't know.
Right.
But it's the only thing that guides you is your sixth sense. And I thank the good Lord for that, because it was a lot of times. I assume the guy offered me good money, like really good money, like 3,000-4,000 rand for an hour. And somebody just told me, you can keep your money, guy. Something about you that's just not cool. And then I would hear the next day, the girl didn't come back yet. And then the next day, and then eventually we heard that she was murdered. So yeah, it is not. I don't wish that for a choice. Even if it is the hardest, prostitution would be the last resort. It's good money. That is why a lot of people are weak. Because think about it. 10, 15, 20 minutes, who's going to give you 500-600 for nothing? It's a guarantee you're not going to get locked up. But is it a guarantee on your life?
And you mentioned the sixth sense. Did something happen to you earlier on that made you aware that, hey, hang on, here I need to be extra careful and I need to trust that sixth sense? Or was it just something that you gained as you got into it? And
something I gained as I got, not gained. I think it started there with my ex-husband and my sister. My sister that was murdered, she was my stepsister, Cindy, my eldest one. She was the one that always told me, hey, Shiri, body language with Sandy, with your baby sister, is not cool with your husband. You need to watch it out. But I'm always the one, hey, man, you mull, man. You can't think. I always give the benefit of the doubt. I never thought anything of it because I never ever expected it. So when I finally found out the truth, the way I found out was what she found a letter, and my baby sister, wrote to one of her friends and said, hey, my husband broke her virginity. And then my sister came to me in the bathroom. She said, "Hey, Sherry, I must tell you something, man. But I need to tell you. And I don't know how you're going to take it, but I have to tell you because I would have wanted you to do that for me. And if you find out that I knew about it, how would you feel?" So she gave me this letter and I wrote it, and things just came crashing down in my life at that moment. She walked out and I was laying in the bath because I was still pregnant. And she walked out and I closed the door, I locked the door, and my mother's tablets was in the cabinet. And I just took all of it. All of it was, I couldn't believe it was happening to me. I couldn't. Yeah.
And that was the time that you nearly overdosed.
Yeah.
Right. And you're pregnant with your daughter now. Right. And in terms of that body language, how did it sort of save you from instances on the street?
What happened was, that just a wake-up call that you can never, that was my mistake for giving benefit of the doubt always. So I thought to myself, no, I will never make a mistake again.
Right.
I would never make a mistake again. And after that, I think I was always on alert for everything, because I felt that, how could I miss that? You know, how could I miss it if it was so obvious for everybody else? How could I miss it? So which means I was asleep most of the time. I have to be more awake, more alert of things that's happening around me. And that is what happened. And on the street, I never got hurt. I don't know, maybe it was the way because of my sixth sense, but also because of the way you live with people. You don't look down on people. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are. Like I always say, you can never be too bad to become good, and never good to become bad. I always live by that saying. So when you live with people, don't live with them junk, because you got a life ahead of you. If you don't have children, you're gonna have children. You can't live for yourself. You have to live for your children as well. And I thank God that I came out on the other side of the tunnel. Not bright side of the tunnel, but I came out alive.
And that community is important, isn't it? Especially when you're out in the street with the other girls, to be able to, as you say, you tell the girls, hang on, I don't want to go in there. You're happy, but I mean, it's,
And we used to take like the registration numbers of that, but that night, nobody had a pen, and we were also drugged up. We couldn't, the numbers was muddled up. And that guilt on you as well, to know that, we could have known who this person is that murdered this girl. I mean, it's a girl that used to stand with us on the street. Maybe it was a drug addict. Maybe just looking for a next fix. Some of them weren't. Some of them were in the same position I was. Just needed money to get by, Besides the drugs, there was other things that I took care of. My daughter also, no matter what, I took care of her. That's why my mother-in-law always used to say, "Hey man, julle kan maar sê wat julle wil van my skoondogter wat so drug, maar hulle kan nie by haar skoene kom nie." Because I took care of my daughter. School stuff, look here, as stupid as it sounds, you get men that come pick you up, that comes from different companies. And the stuff got sorted out. So and then some take care of her books.
Right.
So things were always sorted out. So I was, in that way, I always took care of my daughter.
Right.
So
and did the other ladies also have kids that they were looking after?
But most of the kids was taken away, and most of the kids, they didn't take care of the kids. So they were just for themselves.
Right.
And that was what the difference was. Why I was so lucky. And
at that time when you were in the street, your ex-husband, he wasn't looking after your daughter.
She was by his mother.
Mother, okay.
So he was with his girlfriends or wives or whatever. And he's got other children as well. But my mother-in-law was taking care of Kaylee.
How's your relationship with your younger sister?
Now it's fine. because she's the only one I have left. I had to forgive her to be able to move on. Only with the help of drugs, obviously. But drugs made it easier for me to be able to forgive her. I love her very much, but that will always be in the back of my head. But I've forgiven her, and I've forgiven him.
Mm-hmm. It must have been, took you a long time, did it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, would you say that was where, at that moment was where your life path changed?
Yes, immediately. What was the use of me being the person I was at that time? I mean, everything I did was right. I didn't want to be me anymore. Yeah, it's heartbreaking because everything my daddy and my mother did to bring me up, all the effort, all the everything. I mean, today if I look back, I was silly, I was stupid, because I could have had a better life today, much better, if I only had to listen to my mother and father, and they're not here anymore today, and it hurts. If I could only have one more phone call for advice. You know, when you have your mother's always for a girl is a backbone. So if these people that has parents, they should really appreciate their parents. Honestly. If you have a mother, for a girl, it's always easier. When you visit, you can have a world on your shoulders. But when you just had visit, and I used to go to my mommy, and my mom used to know what I do. She didn't agree with it. But because I was safe and I was always decent, and she tolerated it. So when I used to go to my mommy twice a week or whatever, then I go sit and watch movies with her. Then I lay with my head on her lap, and she'll just play with my head. And when I'm leave there, I feel like $1 million. Because it's my mother. And she told me everything's going to be okay. But I don't have it today. All alone to make my own decisions. Me and my daughter. It's not easy. Because people's judging you all the time. Before you can ask something, they've already got an answer, a negative answer. So I have this dark cloud, my past, hanging off my head. And I can't come right anywhere. So if I don't want to go back to prostitution, what do? I can't get a job. You don't have clothes to go with because you know your first impression always lasts. Wherever you go, you can't look presentable because you don't have. So what do? Do you go steal? What do you do to be able to start turn over a new leaf? It's just very difficult. You don't want to give the community or people food for their mouth, as they say. Because they like to see when you're doing the bad stuff. They only remember the bad that you ever do. All the negativity, they always remember that. The minute you do something good, no one can remember. No one. No, you're going to find very little people who can say, oh yes, no, I saw Sherry do this. No, but they're going to remember that night when they saw Sherry in a short skirt. So it's very difficult.
So the community is unforgiving.
Mm.
It's
And a skinner story, you can't stop. Someone that talks behind other people's back, hey, you can't stop that story. And that story will get tails or something added on. Hey, by the time it comes up, That's totally the opposite thing that got what happened. Yeah, but who can stop it? It will carry on just going around. And then they all look at you as in, yo, did you do that? I mean, it's not cool. Because I'm like somebody that if I walk around, at least with a little bit of skin I have on my face, I like to keep it. You know, I like to be able to walk with my head up high. So even now, when me and my boyfriend do, or he does something small, stupid, I'll tell him, Clint, my baby, that is something that is the small things that you don't understand, that people take note of, and it will hold against you forever. So yeah.
And how, because it sounds like prostitution alone is a drug. Leave the drugs alone. But I mean, it's just
An addiction.
It's 100%, right? It sounds like it because you just keep on going back because you
And
need to have
money,
money, and then it's just a revolving circle. How did you manage to get out of that?
Through Clint, my boyfriend. I wouldn't have been out of it. I met someone. I was with my ex-boyfriend for 15 years. In and out of prison, hijacking, robbery. I got a sentence for 3 years for theft, not hijacking. We walked away from a case. We almost got 15 years. We managed to get away. But that was an eye-opener for me. Never ever to go back to prison. My daughter used to come visit me by Paul's mom. My mother-in-law used to bring her to me. And as she grew up, I saw my daughter growing up, but how? Inside a prison. And it was not going to work for me. And then I told that one day she came to visit me. She said, Mommy, she had a little handbag and she cried. They helped her get up onto this chair and she said, Mommy, I want to show you something. So she took out that little handbag and she threw emptied her handbag and she said, so all your letters you write me, Mommy. But Mommy, today I'm not going to come visit you again. Today I will not come back. From today onwards, I'm not coming back to visit you here. Mommy has to promise me you're never, ever coming back here again. Then I made my daughter promise, and from then I've never ever gone back again. Because I kept that promise. That's the only thing that ever matters to me is when you make a promise to someone, especially your daughter, your family, you keep it. So, yeah, then me and my ex-boyfriend broke up because we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't go anywhere because my life, it's a continuous cycle, going back to prison, doing this, and when I was with him. So
was it also a
he was a gang, 27.
Okay. So in asking that question, I mean, when you were with him, did he force you to go into prostitution or stealing?
We both liked money.
Okay.
So he was there he always was with me. But when I was with him, I never ever slept with anybody. I never ever did anything because we would rob the guys. I would go to a certain place and he would get me there and then he would open the doors or I would open the door for them and that's how stuff happened.
Is this the hijacking part of the
robbery?
Right.
So, yeah, then we ended our relationship. And it was hard because his family became my family because my family is not here anymore. And his mother was an amazing person, and when I used to go to prison, his mother would come visit me as well and put money on my property. I mean, she's got of her own children and they're all naughty. And we all used to be in prison, but she used to come put money on all of our properties. So it was terrible because 1 month it was my turn to be visited, next month it's her daughter's, and the next month it's, rotation. So you got, every 4 months you got a visit. But anyway, it was an amazing woman. She also passed away last month. But yeah, then I met my boyfriend that I have now. And we were first friends. I never ever thought I would fall in love with him, be with him. If I think back now, I used to think of him as person.
What's person?
Because he's got glasses on, he looks like a nerd. He's got glasses on and he's clever. And things he does makes him even more, But anyway, I'm with him today and he told me that he can't be, when we were first in the beginning stages, he told me he can't be with someone that's selling themselves on the road. He wants to know that he loves someone that he loves, and I'm his. And that is where I made my decision Told him I love you, so I'm gonna. And it took a lot for me because money I had to have all the time, every day. Money, and I'm not talking about hundreds. I like 1,000 rands, a couple of thousand. That worked for me. That made my life nice and comfortable. And it was a huge sacrifice because my boyfriend, he had money, but not all the time. And when it came to the hard times, that's where I realized, yo, I really love this guy because I can't let go of him. As much as I want to, I can't. And I thank God that he sent him on my path. No matter how my path looks now, he sent him on my path, and I believe that he sent him, we can help each other.
So when you guys need money, what do you guys do?
We have to scuttle. I never ever thought of it, but yeah, there's buns, different. My mother's probably turning in the grave, but you know what? There's nothing else we can do. I'll go with him. In the beginning, I also never wanted to, but I thought myself, yeah, if he's doing it for us, and he had a reputation to Vabal, he doesn't care. He's not putting that, he's putting me first, because on the end of the day, what people put in their buns, you'll be so surprised. Like food, like sealed, fresh food still. I mean, we didn't go and just look in that bun. I mean, it would have been thrown away too. I mean, if we don't have, what must we do? In food, we look for food, like broken appliances that my boyfriend can fix and sell. And I look for clothing, because if there's good clothing, I can resell. Because that is what I used to do, like buy in and sell clothing. I have my customers that buy. So yeah, clothing I used to look for us to wear. I used to keep for us to wear and to sell. But that's like it's very scarce, you know. But you get that people that get fond of you, and they'll try and sort you out.
Is this homeowners now who?
Yeah, they put their buns out.
Right.
Different. So yeah, it's the areas. Like one day it will be Bishop's Court. One day it will be Weinberg or Claremont or Kenilworth. We don't go to all the places. Meaderidge, Heathfield, different places, but we didn't go so far. My feet won't make it. I complain the whole way there and back.
Don't you upset him when you come
I
back?
upset him like hell. He tells me, you stay here. I said, I will not. But then we never come home together because I always take 10 years out of him. Then he will come out. You'll always be at home person. I tell him, okay, that's what you do to me, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But I always give him everything to carry, and that's what pisses him off.
Isn't it quite a competitive space or area that is called scattering? Scattling. Isn't it quite competitive because there's
one gets better than the other? Yeah, but we can't get cross. That's one rule. We all have an understanding. Your scuttle is your scuttle.
Mm-hmm.
If you got things you want to swap or sell, whatever, amongst each other, that's that. But your scuttle is your scuttle. That's at least the one good thing. The understanding that we all have.
Because I've never,
and there's a lot of scuttlers.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I've never seen on the days where, I mean, our bins where I stake, they come on the rubbish guys come on a Thursday. Mm. So you'll see in the suburb on a Thursday, it's quite a bit, especially in the morning before the truck comes, quite a busy hive of activity, you know. But I've never seen the guys quarreling or fighting or anything like that.
That's one good understanding, yeah.
But there's one thing though, you guys are fast, man. Yeah, you guys are fast. Like, I remember chatting to one chap, and when I was taking my bin out, and then, like, literally 10 minutes later, he is 3 streets down.
I'm telling you.
I was like, how did you get here so fast? You know? But I guess you've got to work with
fast.
speed.
If you're thinking of your luck, if people throw away gold, I promise you. Right. I'll never forget it. I always tell my boyfriend, the day I get gold, because everybody, he got gold, we got like 2,000 odd rand for it. I couldn't believe it. He said, come with me quickly. I said, wait, man. We come to the gold shop. Now I'm looking at this piece of gold, and I said, you want me to walk with you with that small piece of thing? But when we got there, I'm telling you, got 2,500 for this thing.
Oh, wow.
A piece of a link of a chain. I said, my God, I promise I'm like it. Nah, I'm like that. If you got something, I want it too.
So the competitive nature coming out.
I'm gonna get it. And I told him, okay, this bun story is working on my nerves because I'm not finding anything in there. But the one day I got a nice earring, gold earring and a ring. I got 3,200. So I came home smiling. I didn't even take him with me to the gold shop. I wanted to show. I told him, guess what? He said me, and he came in with all those bags. I said, no man, I'm not a boss. What do you mean? He said, what do you mean you're a boss? I said, me, where's your bags? I said, I didn't scuttle. He said, what do you mean? I said, I got in the first when I scratching, I got this ring and this earring, and the stamp was the stamp was in the inside of the ring, so I knew it was real. And it was 18 karat. I'm telling you, he said me, what? Why didn't you take me with you? I said, because it's mine. Oh, it's yours. And from that day onwards, I couldn't believe. I thought to myself, yo. And that is what motivated it. You just want to go back for more.
Right.
These people throw away laptops. These like cool things, you know. But then there's just days that you don't get at all. But that's
right.
part of life.
Yes. That's. I think it says something about, you know, I mean, the fact that we can just throw away things that can be reused again and that one can make money again, but it's just so easy for us to throw things away.
There's people that don't want you to scratch any buns, and then I promise you, then it's the buns that's got clothes, foods, and stuff. And I think to myself, but why would you do that? Why would you insist that we can't take that stuff out your bin, but you're happy for it to go into a dirt truck? I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
And what do the people do when they don't want you to search? I mean,
They tell you, they stand by the bin, or they bring the bin out just as the truck comes. I mean, I told the lady that, you know, you are pathetic. You're standing here the whole time when you are so selfish. So basically, you're not willing to feed another person. You'll rather see that this food of yours goes into the bin and feed no one. I told her, you're pathetic. I told her, you're so selfish. I would never, ever, I'd be too glad to feed someone. If I knew I had, I would actually just, you know, there's a lot of people that are decent enough to put the foods in a plastic bag on top of the bins. But, it puzzles me, man. It actually really gets to me.
What would you, I mean, ideally, as someone who scarrel with the S. Someone who scarrel, sorry, Carol. To make your life easier, what would, not necessarily an advice, but how, I mean, you mentioned putting your food and stuff in a bag and putting it on top of the bin, you know. I guess what I'm asking is, how could I make your life easy? Can I actually?
You can. Your broken appliances, clothing that you don't want, food, things that you know that somebody else can make use of.
Just separate those items, put them in a bag, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if there's a certain person, maybe you don't want to put it there, and because maybe that's also a problem. You don't want to part with your things that you know you paid money for. But sometimes characters that you burn that you don't really like. So then put it in a bag, keep it there until you see them, and then you tell them to pop it on every now and then ask. I mean, I understand that part, but I mean, sometimes you even ring the bell. I mean, just not to be so nasty, man. You know, people, they're judging us like crazy, but they don't know us. They don't know what our minds, what's going on in our minds, or what we've been through, what we're going through, what we know, or know how to do. They don't know us, so they shouldn't judge us. I mean, we're hoping for someone to give us an opportunity. We want to change. We just needed help, you know. Some of us live on the street. Some of us might be ending up there. But everything is a struggle for us. No one gives us nothing for nothing. We have to pray to God, to help us hope. because to have faith, like my granny always tell me, just have faith. I'm like, oh God, there we go again, faith. Faith like potatoes, they say.
Are you religious?
Yes, I'm a Christian. I used to attend AFM church, but then as time went by, I didn't go to church. But I'm a firm believer of God. I do believe that He's there.
Right.
Very much. You can't do anything without Him. I do know that. And I know that He is there because of, I used to pray a lot and He did help me. He sent someone on my path too. And I would not have been able to do it on my own. So yeah.
Home. I mean, you mentioned that there's some of us, or some of people that you know, live on the street. I mean, you've been close to live. Have you ever lived on the street?
It was once that I ended up there. Yeah, it was a terrible experience. That is why I'll never go back there again. It was for a month that I ended up there. My boyfriend that I had for 15 years went to prison. And I didn't want to stay by the people where I worked for anymore. And then I met this other guy and then I lived with him on the street. He wasn't on the street, he had a home. But because of my situation and he loved me, he came with me. He was very good to me and whatever, running around, scuttling and stuff. And that time I wouldn't scuttle. My pride was too, So he used to do it for me. But then my ex-boyfriend came out of prison again and then I left. Then I went to go stay with him. Same I hurt that guy also, but he understood and today we're friends still. So yeah, that experience was terrible. There's a place in Plumsey called Videographer. It's like a park where you can walk your dogs and stuff. I slept there. But because of the securities, the next door is like an old age home or some kind of a place. They back door, when they're in their backyard, they can see onto the riverbank or whatever you call it. And they used to spot us and they used to come and chase us away because a lot of break-ins took place there. So yeah, that was just them preventing. So yeah.
So when they chase you away, you literally
you have to go park or somewhere else. And where do you go? Because every place yeah. Oh, it was terrible. Because it was raining also that time and everything was wet. So, but I made it and it wasn't cool. So when you're staying on the street, it's not nice. Because these people, they come, they steal your blankets, they steal your, different people, they're just passing by, they just steal your things. Where do you put your stuff? Some people put your stuff in the drain.
I've often seen guys putting stuff in or taking stuff out in the drains and...
No, man, it's not cool, but where can they put their stuff?
You don't have a...
Yeah. You don't have a cupboard, you don't have... So even if you're staying on this, that's even worse because whatever you scuttle, you have to carry with you all the time. How do you carry your cupboard with you all the time? I mean, I'm very sentimental. I promise you that's my biggest downfall because I can keep something.
So you're a hoarder. You hoard things.
You don't say it like that.
My apologies.
But that's basically the truth. Everywhere I go, I have a problem. Even something nice. I love pink. Pink and purple. It's girly colors. I like it. And yellow. I don't care if I've got 30,000 yellow, pink. That's mine. And sometimes, to be honest with you, if I go into a shop and I see this thing, pink, whatever color it is that I like, I'm going to buy it. And my boyfriend tells me, but it's too small for you. It doesn't matter. I like it. That's the downfall. So yeah, I like to keep things. How do I carry all my stuff? It's impossible.
It's a problem when you're homeless.
It's a problem. Because I'm not leaving any of my stuff behind. So my boyfriend has to be very prepared and willing. And I don't think it's going to work for me. So
it makes sense now when you see two couples and the man is pushing a trolley with stuff inside and then the woman is in front walking. It's probably half the stuff in the trolley is the woman's.
He does. That's what happens with me. My boyfriend is always complaining. This week, you have your own backpack. Yes, why? But I've got stuff in it. Well, then you stay at home. Because I'm not carrying all the stuff. I said, but you will. If you love me, you will. But that's not going to work. They said, but you moans, but he turns his back and I just pack more stuff in his thing. He says, did you pack stuff in this bag? I said, oh, you stupid. Can't you see my backpack is full? He said, your backpack was full when you left the house, Sherry. And but we get home and he says to me, yo. He complains, you see, to the people we love.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I'm going to get any of the stuff in this bag. Everything's mine.
Wow. What is home? If someone says, what's home for you? What?
To you. Home would have been with my parents, but they're not there anymore. So where your loved ones are, I would love to be with my daughter and my partner can be, and make that home.
Mm.
But I can't really say anything's home because I don't have anywhere with my loved one. I always want to be with my loved ones, and that is a family. That is what you can call home, wherever your loved ones will be. I mean, to make it a whole. But if you're on your own, you can't really say. But yeah, a location where you can be just with your loved ones and it can just be used. That's what I'll call home. But at the moment, I can't call anything home.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I think we take it for granted. I mean, even coming back to your story when you lived in the park there. I mean, as a homeless person, I mean, what do you call home? Because I mean, you're moving from bench to bench.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But I mean, even in your situation, moving from your dealer's place and then having to go there.
Yeah, every new place is it's another experience because you need to put yourself in there. I mean, you couldn't think it's your mother's home. It's not. You get different people popping around all the time. Thank God for my reputation. It was a lot of people that couldn't stand seeing me there on that street because they know that I'm not that type of person. But what do you call that type of person? You understand? Well, what do you mean by that type of person? When I say that is my goals, no matter in whatever situation I was in, I was never let that bring me down. I would work myself to a core just so that my rent could be paid wherever I stayed. But then it comes a certain time in your life when you don't want to do certain things or you just need a break away from something. So yeah, people can't look down on you and say, you're not that type of person. Anything's possible. So that's why I say you can never judge someone. Say that that's not possible, because you can knock on your door. You can have everything today. Tomorrow you can lose it, and then you're going to need that same person that you turned away by the door or by the bin that you didn't want him to scratch in. So things can happen in an instant.
I was actually having a chat with Clint, the other day, and he was mentioning that a friend of his who had never lifted a finger, but for some reason, in his late 40s, he committed a double murder. And that friend had never thought in his life he would ever end up in prison. And I just want to add on what you're saying in the sense of, I'm lucky. I agree with you in the sense that we tend to look down on people and think that we'll never be in that position. Going forward, I mean, what's next for you? What's your dream? I want to know what your dreams are. When you were growing up, actually, like, what was on you? What did you want to be?
I like being with children.
Right.
When I was small and when I was growing up, I wanted to be a mommy with a lot of children.
Okay.
But not thinking of giving birth and all that stuff. I just wanted to take care of a lot of children. I like working with old people as well. I have a heart and I've got patience with old people. I like to manicure and pedicure them. Sometimes my granny, she was still living on the side, they have prayer meetings. And then I used to tell my granny when it's her dead turn by our house, tell the the grandmas or whatever, they must come. I'm going to give them a foot massage or whatever afterwards. And I used to do that for them, and then they used to pay me like afterwards. They said, hey, she's quite good in this. And so the word got around the church. And I got quite busy. So I like to do things like that, manicuring, pedicuring for the old people. Youngsters can do their own thing.
Right.
Yeah, maybe sometimes even going on by the hospitals. I didn't do that for a long time though. I used to go in by the hospitals just because I had to. But if I consensual medical clinic, I used to go there because my mother used to work there at the hospital back in the days. So I used to go to the water cheese just to feel the comfort, because I miss her. Take a walk there by the old people, and they know me there, so come greet them, and then I used to go again just to, and by the old age home. But I didn't go to the old age home for a long time. Yeah, so working with old people, anything, I'm a quick learner.
Right.
I'm a fast learner. I worked as a cashier already, aftercare teacher. So yeah.
Well, the other day you were saying that also you learned how to cook also.
Yeah, I don't talk too much about that. Yeah, I'm not a great cook. As growing up, as white people, we always had nannies and whatever. But our parents, don't stand around us, please. Go, children, you do your thing, and big people, don't mess with my pots. So we couldn't really stand around like other people. Other children got opportunities to. Mommy, what you doing? And mothers used to spend time with the children like that. We never knew what to throw in next, But as I came through my life, my first boyfriend was a great cook. He was a chef. Yeah, but he also taught me a few things. But my boyfriend I have now, he taught me quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I can cook at least little meals.
Right.
Not like my boyfriend buffets, because he's quite a very, very impressive cook.
I believe so.
Very, very impressive. From nothing, you'll make a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think though that I just look at your body language when you talk about him, about Clint, and it looks like he has been that positive light in your life. The fact that you stopped the prostitution because of him and him convincing you to give up all that money that you were making. Because I'm sure it was a difficult decision.
Bloody difficult situation. Yeah.
Did you guys fight about it?
No. He doesn't like fighting about money. One thing about Clint, he doesn't buckle under pressure. No. He does, but he doesn't show it to me. He tries not to show it to me. The fact that he's also was used to making money, and I'm so proud to say that he's also from his experience, what he's been doing. It's difficult for him too, because what he's done for me, I'm trying to do the same for him. Because at a stage, he thought prison was his home. He used to be there all the time, and I used to tell him that you've got children of your own. You've got me, you've got people that love you. Love he didn't believe in. Love he didn't. Maybe now he believes in it a little bit, because I know that he does love me. Because he says, no, I'm full of shit. But he wouldn't be with me still under all the things that I've been through. He's still here with me. He doesn't need to. He can have a peaceful life, like he's on his ace all the time. He's peaceful, he's humble. He doesn't need those problems. Any minor problems he got, he sorted out quick, and that's it. But me, I came with my baggage, and my daughter loves him to bits. And if we argue, she tells me straight out, hello, you leave Clint alone. You leave him alone. I say, excuse me? Otherwise we're not going to eat liquor tonight, Mommy. But she loves him because of his personality.
Right.
She tells me I'm a little bit too hard on him. But it's not that. It's just that I see the bigger picture, and I try and prevent things before it happens.
You being a mom, that's what moms do, as you said. Have you always believed in love? Was there ever a moment in your life where that belief in love dipped?
Yes. My husband had an affair.
Right. True.
Yeah.
What brought back that belief?
Clint.
Wow.
Because you can say you love someone, but you need to show them. He's not a very affectionate person, Clint. No, really not. He's not going to come out of the blue and hold your hand with him. No, I must moan all day. Baby, hold me, man, hold me. Yo, but I'm busy playing games with you. You're forever holding your phone. Hold me. But then out of the blue sometimes you'll surprise me. Like this last week, he's not 100% better. He's sore, but he loves me, and I can feel it. So yeah, I know that he loves me. So I know that he believes in love, and I believe in love now. Again, it's not about money between us. In the previous relationships, that is what the love was all about, because it wasn't love for each other, it was the love of money.
Right.
The love of what we could do for each other. It wasn't real love, it was the money, the love of money. But with the Clint discipline, it's love I know that he has for me, because he will always advise me to do something. He won't tell me what to do. Even if I'm had an argument with my daughter or something is bugging me about my daughter, and he will always tell me. I'll ask him, Clint, tell me, man, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me. He said, I can't tell you. You're the mother. I can't, it's wrong for me to get involved. But then he'll tell me afterwards, you know what? But what I think is so and so and so. You've been too hard on your daughter or whatever. And then I listen to him. And most of the times he's right. But it's that he can at least be honest with me, And if he sees I'm wrong and I know, you just want to get involved. I don't want to be in the middle of you two women.
He sounds like someone that has brought that stability in your life, that calmness. Knowing him, he's a very chilled person.
He brought a lot of calmness in my life. I was very, very... A lot of people that can't believe that it's me, that I'm the way I'm living today. Like, they will tell me, yeah, there's a place here, so and so and so, and there's going to be a lot of men there, and they're going to drink, and this and money. Money's the highlight. Sorry, man. I'm happy where I am now. I'm not going to sacrifice that. For what? For money.
And those friends that used to hang around back before him, are they still around, or have
They're still around. Wherever we walk past him, they'll insult him, because it's like, yeah, it's because of him that I'm not with him anymore. But it's not that. I want to be with him.
All right. So the community still wants to drag you back into that life and that.
Because no one's ever happy for you. If they on that level and they can't get out of it, they're not going to be happy for you because you got out of it. They will always try and bring you back. They will always try and bring you back.
Right.
They'll never. That's why I always tell my daughter, you're my daughter. You must know one thing. Mommy had a very little. Mommy didn't buy face here. Yeah, the community did heard. They never ever saw, because at night if I walked out of my house, I had tracksuit pants on, long pants, high heels, and whatever I was wearing, it would be in my handbag. I would never disrespect the community. I still respected myself. Only when I got by the main road, I would take my pants off and then my clothes underneath, and then put my high heels on. So I'd always tell her, Kaylee, baby, you know what? Mommy hardly had any friends here. Mommy never went around sitting from place to place to place, smoking, doing whatever. So someone always had something bad to say. So you're my daughter. What makes you think they're going to like you? That is how people is. And only 2 or 3 weeks ago, she said to me, you know what, Mommy? I had to listen to you when you told me, do I really think this is friends for me? But I had to want to bump my head first. And she saw what I was talking about. And I'm glad that she saw, because it would have been... she was on another level with these people. Yeah.
So you saw, was she also going down that similar path that you
No,
were?
yeah, well, it would have ended... not prostitution, I don't think,
Sure.
but ganja, smoking all the time. And she started to get lazy on herself, and I don't like that. Because I know who my daughter is and what she is. But there's people... And it's amazing it's actually horrifying to see what friends can do to you. And at that moment, they don't want to see it. They don't want to know nothing, because they're enjoying the buzz they're in.
But she sounds like someone who's got a a level head on her shoulders, because I mean, coming back to that story when she came to visit you in Paulsmoor, and she took out the letters and said, "Listen, this is the last time," you know.
She's got a head on her shoulder. Yeah, she wants to be an air hostess. She's very involved with. She plays soccer for Milano, soccer team, soccer club, and she's a leader of a dance group at school. Yeah, so she's quite active when she goes to school. So, but because of that, I was scared of the space that she was going through, that she was going to lose all of that. Because when my daddy died, he left nothing for me and my older sister because of the drugs that we were on. But he left everything that he had to his grandchildren.
Right.
So she's quite sorted out, but I didn't want her to take it for granted, you know. Because a lot of children out there still, like, if she didn't want it, could have had it, but she's got it. So it was a very difficult situation for me and my daughter, or period of time where we were arguing and fighting constantly. And you know, me as a mommy, I don't like to go on with my daughter like that. I mean, she's mine. She's a little me, so I want to protect her as much as I can. But if you can't anymore, and that person just keeps pushing you away, it's difficult. But I never gave up. I told her, listen, we physically had a fight. I told her, and I had to merely keep it down with my hands. I told her, I'm your mother. You're not my mother. But she was drugged up, man. She was not drugged up, she was smoked up. And she was in another bus, and I couldn't believe it, because I thought to myself, if you are like this now, anyone can just take advantage of you. You know, it was sad to see her like that. But okay, she's much better now. Okay. She came to pop in by me this morning. She said to me, hey, you're not going for that story this morning. You better get up. I said, hey, what time are you going to be back? So I said, Karina, what are you doing here? She said, I just came to say hello to you, mommy. Can't a child see a mother, or what's your story? So I said, oh no. So, Clint, what do you say?
That's fantastic. I think, yeah. No, I mean, what again, I told you I have a 10-year-old, and you sort of are scared that the path that they might take. I mean, okay, my 10-year-old is not where your daughter is, but often I do think about those things, you know, as to how will he turn out, you know, especially you get told as a parent, just be, the teenage years are coming, because that's when shit pops.
Yeah, and that often is a problem, because as my daughter grew up, she was with a grandma. So my daughter drank over December, and you know, a drunk person speaks a sober mind. And my daughter had a breakdown because she just went off. She said, where were you when I needed you? And we was, daddy, people think me, I've got an easy life, I've got to impress daddy, I've got to do this for you, and when can I be me? And she had a big breakdown, and that is what it hurt me, because I don't know what's going on in her mind. She's not someone, she's going to tell me all the time, mommy, I'm fine. But she is more concerned about me. So she considers my feelings to keep her own, to her own, whatever's bothering her. She would rather consider what's happening in my life. So no, my mother's not stable enough for this conversation, or she won't be able to handle this, or whatever. We'd just rather not talk about it. But I don't want her to feel that way, because I'm the mother. She mustn't worry about things like that. But that is how she is.
Kids are very intuitive.
Yeah, but I don't want her to feel that way. But she's just got that personality, man. It's almost like she must worry about mommy. But it's not like it. I'm very much worried about her. But maybe that's just her personality.
Right. So she's in grade
12.
Grade 12 this year. Okay, so hopefully air hostess next year. Cross fingers.
Yeah.
Or a soccer star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever, I'll be proud of her.
Right.
As long as she makes it.
Right. And for you, it's for you and Clint, but for you personally in particular, it's...
I need a job.
Need a job, yeah.
Yeah, I need a job. Definitely.
Right. You've been off the drugs now for how long?
For 2 months.
2 months, right. And that urge to go back there...
It does come. Because of the light of my life, my daughter and Clint, we help each other.
Good, good.
And that's the problem, you see. We need to eat, and the people ain't putting nothing out. So, yeah, it's difficult. Because, you know, when you detox and you come with rice, you need to eat to keep away the cravings. And, yeah, when you're not having, it's very, very difficult. Your mind tells you straight that, let's just have a smoke.
And the shelters that are, I mean, this...
It's like 900, like 950.
Okay, well, hold on. I thought that those shelters, these were City of Cape Town funded shelters where you could go and get some food. Even if you don't stay there, at least they can give you food.
It doesn't work like that.
How does it work?
You need to pay money. Yeah. There's a lot of people, if you go look, like places where you go look for food or whatever, they give you this coupons. I think it's called U-turn or something like that. Where they pay, they don't give you money, they'll give you the coupon. You can go there to a certain place. In Claremont, I think it is. That's the only place I've heard of.
There's one in
U-turn.
Claremont behind, parallel to the railway tracks, there by the bus station.
Yeah, so I think it's that one. I haven't been there. It gives you clothing. You can take a shower, have something to eat. Some of the coupons, it's paid for already. So it's not for free. The people that's giving the coupons already paid for it.
So where do you get these coupons from?
By businesses and certain people, I don't know.
Oh, so me as an individual can go buy coupons.
Yeah.
And then be able to give those coupons to anyone, but you can then redeem them at that U-turn.
Only go there. That is a cool thing, but how do you know which people to ask?
Right. It is a bit
but anyway,
strange. And then the other, like Haven and those type of shelters.
You have to pay. Before my daddy died, my daddy put me in Claremont. I think that is what U-turn is now. Paid 950 rand a month for me. It's a lot of money, but it was worth it. And it's a very nice place, but homeless. If you're homeless, you're homeless. You don't have money, you don't have... I mean...
Because you hear... I often, when I read the local, the tattlers of this world, the community newspapers, and often you will... where residents will comment and they'll say, but there's so many homeless shelters. Why don't the homeless people go to these shelters?
So maybe they stop
or they
paying.
run away from the shelters.
Maybe they should stop complaining and make a difference. Find one of them and put them in a shelter. I mean, you can't complain and you don't have a solution. I mean, for real. I'm sure they won't stay on the street if they could be somewhere else. Because place yourself in a position, as I mentioned to you, your stuff is never safe. So who, if they know this stuff can be safe, would still be out there? How? So I think people should stop complaining and have a solution. I mean, I don't know.
And just while we're at it, COVID, how was COVID for you?
That's the time that I was out on the street.
Okay.
That's more period of time.
Okay. And I mean...
It was terrible because you couldn't walk around.
That's right.
And how did you eat? And it was forever duck and diving. But, yeah.
Because I mean the COVID really made the homeless... the homeless situation worse. Because I mean, I just saw a lot. I mean, there by the garage, by the Shell garage, there was that community staying there.
Yeah, it was hectic there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people, there was like different churches and Muslim people that used to come out at night and give you your food, whatever, bread and stuff like that. So yeah, it was through them that we survived.
Right, but they stopped doing that now. Okay.
But there's still people now because of the fasting in Plumstead on a Friday. Then they'll hand out food.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only on a Friday.
All right. Yeah. As I said, I thought that. I mean, the city of Cape Town always says there's shelters for homeless.
Yeah, but they must pay. There's shelters for homeless people for free. No.
Wow, I must say, maybe I was ignorant on it, but it's the first time. I just thought that you just go in there, then they'll provide a bed for you, and food.
No, then the shelters will be overloaded if it was really that way.
Right.
But no, there's always space for someone that can pay.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Okay. So, Shirley, you want a job?
Really, I do really need a job.
But now the other day you told me you don't have an ID card.
Yeah, but I can have it done. I mean, that's not stopping me. But I mean, the fact that I don't have anywhere to go and I don't have a place called home, I can't have important things like that, you know? It doesn't motivate me to go do that. But if I know I've got something to look forward to,
Right.
it'll be done in a wink of an eye.
I give you a challenge. Get your ID card. Because you will not be able to get employed without an ID card. That you can put in the back of your pocket. I know it's difficult. You've had a couple of stolen already. But I think it's difficult for even employers to employ you without an ID card.
How much is it though?
I would be lying. But we can get that information for you. But I think that should be the first step is getting that ID card. You know, then at least it can then we can look at the next at the next step. So okay, no, but thank you very much. And is there anything that you would want to get off your chest to tell to people? It's just, I think it's important.
I just want to say thank you for the people that are out there, does have a heart for us homeless people or less fortunate people. Thank you for having a heart and putting your food out and being decent about things. And may God bless you.
Thank you for your time. And I'm truly grateful for your time, for your honesty, and just your vulnerability. I think for me, it's a learning experience, because the only way I can try and understand you and try, I can only try, is through these exchanges, through conversation, you know, and then we see where we can go from there, you know. And I think if we can just learn to talk to each other more often. Yeah,
that's all. The communication is, you know, you never know who you meet up with. You might, that person comes discussing you, but you might become best friends with him because you don't know how much in common you do really have. So yeah.
And I think we've got a lot in common. I think we do. We just happen to
different background, different situations.
That's it.
But that's all it is. It's just us. We just happen to have a little bit of a, but it's never too late. And I believe in it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.